Let's talk about something that might mess with your head a little bit. We all like to think we're in the driver's seat of our own minds, right? That we're logical, rational, and we make decisions for clear, solid reasons. Well, what if that's mostly a story we tell ourselves? Let's dive into why you and I are not nearly as smart as we think. I mean, just think about it. As a species, we can build cars, design smartphones, and send robots to other planets. We are capable of incredible, breathtaking complexity. And yet, we do stuff like this all the time. I bet you've spent 5 minutes looking for sunglasses that were already on top of your head. So what's the deal? How can we be so brilliant and so foolish at the same time? Okay, enough talk. Let's put this to the test right now. I'm going to give you a little challenge, a simple logic puzzle, just to show you exactly how our brains can get tied up in knots. You ready for this? Okay, the rule here is super important, so listen closely. It's the only thing that matters. If a card has an even number on one side, it must be red on the other. Got it? Even means red. Simple. All right, so imagine 4 cards laid out in front of you. You're looking at a 3, an 8, a card that's showing its red side, and another card that's showing its brown side. Okay, here it is, the big question. To prove 100% that the rule, if even, then red, is being followed, which of these cards do you absolutely have to turn over? Think about it. Go on, lock in your answer. So, how'd you do? If you found that a little tricky, don't feel bad. You are in the vast, vast majority. When psychologist Peter Wasson first ran this famous test, get this, a whopping 90% of people got it wrong. 90%. Our brains just short circuit. Okay, drum roll please. The correct answer is you have to flip the 8 and the brown card. Now, here's why. Flipping the 8 is kind of the obvious part, right? You got to check if it's red on the back to see if it follows the rule. But the real brain bender, the move most of us miss, is flipping the brown card. Why? Because if that brown card has an even number on the other side, bam, you've just destroyed the rule. See, true logic isn't just about looking for evidence that you're right. It's about actively trying to prove yourself wrong. And our brains, well, they really hate doing that. So that little card trick shows that our brains love to take shortcuts. But it gets even weirder. Those same shortcuts leave us wide open to all kinds of hidden influences. It's almost like we're puppets, and there are these invisible strings pulling on our thoughts and our actions that we can't even see. And the scientific name for this is priming. It's this wild concept that something you encounter, a word, an object, even a smell, can subtly nudge your future behavior completely without your permission or knowledge. It plants a little seed in your mind, and a whole network of related ideas starts to grow, all completely under the radar of your conscious thought. Let me give you a killer example of this in action. Back in 2003, researchers did this clever experiment. They had one group of people look at photos of neutral things, kites, whales, whatever. The other group saw photos of business-related items, briefcases, fancy pens, stuff like that. Then, they told everyone they were going to play a game to split $10 with a partner. The catch? You make an offer, and if your partner rejects it, nobody gets a dime. And what happened was just mind-blowing. The group that just looked at pictures of briefcases and pens became way more competitive, way greedier with their offers. But here's the kicker. When the researchers asked them why they offered what they did, not one person said, "Oh, it must have been those pictures of office supplies." Nope. They made up these elaborate, rational-sounding stories to justify their own behavior. Totally blind to the real trigger. Okay, so our brains can be swayed by hidden cues in the world around us. But it's not just that. Our brains also have this deep, desperate need to create meaning, to find patterns and stories, even when they're just staring at pure random chaos. You've probably seen this one before. The list of eerie coincidences between Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. I mean, look at this. Elected to Congress exactly 100 years apart. Elected president 100 years apart. Both succeeded by a guy named Johnson, born 100 years apart. Come on, your brain just lights up, right? It's screaming, this can't be an accident. There's a connection. Or how about this? A quote from Nostradamus, way back in the 1500s.
He talks about a battle against someone named Hister and a son of Germany. Wow. Hister, Hitler. It's so close. It feels like a genuine prophecy, doesn't it? But are we seeing a real signal here, or are we just connecting the dots after the fact?
This very human tendency has a fantastic name, the Texas sharpshooter fallacy. Just picture it. A cowboy stands back and just unloads his six-shooter randomly at the side of a barn. Afterward, he walks over, finds the tightest little group of bullet holes, and then paints a giant bullseye around them. To anyone walking by, it looks like he's an expert marksman. But he's not. He's just imposing meaning onto randomness. And we do this with information all day, every day.
And this chart really drives it home. When we look at that Lincoln/Kennedy list, we're focusing on that tiny little bar of meaningful coincidences. What we're ignoring is that giant bar of randomness, the hundreds of facts about their lives that don't line up at all. Same with Nostradamus. We obsess over the Hister quote, but we ignore the fact that Hister was just the Latin name for the Danube River, and we conveniently forget the nearly 1,000 other predictions he made that were total nonsense. We see the bullseye and we ignore the rest of the barn. Okay, so we're bad at pure logic. We see patterns that aren't really there. So what else? Well, this last flaw might just be the most powerful one of all. It's all about our ego, our deep, desperate need to feel like we're smart and that we always make the right call. Check this out. Some researchers looked at what political books people were buying on Amazon during a big election, and what they found was, well, pretty telling. People who already supported a candidate almost exclusively bought books that told them how great their candidate was. They weren't seeking out information, they were seeking out confirmation. We're wired to want a pat on the back for what we already believe. This is something called choice supportive bias. It's why you become fiercely loyal to the car you bought or the brand of phone you use. You're not really defending the object itself, you're defending your decision to buy it. You're protecting your sense of self as a smart person who makes good choices. All right, so at this point you might be thinking, great, so my brain is basically a glitchy computer running on outdated software. And yeah, kinda. But here's the thing, that's not bad news. That's actually incredibly empowering news. Because once you know how the machine is flawed, you can start to work around the bugs. You can learn to debug your own thinking. So let's boil it all down. What can we actually do? First, just accept it. Your mind takes shortcuts. They're fast, but man, they can be really wrong. Second, awareness is everything. You're probably never going to get rid of these biases completely, but just knowing they exist is half the battle. Third, curate your environment. You can't always control every random thought, but you can control what you feed your brain. And finally, the most important one, question your assumptions. Real intelligence isn't about being right all the time. It's about having the humility to seriously ask yourself, wait, what if I'm wrong about this? And that's where we'll leave it. Look, the point of this explainer isn't to make you feel bad about your brain. It's to give you the owner's manual so you can use it better. So I'll leave you with a real challenge. After hearing all of this, what's one thing, just one thing you believe to be true? One assumption you hold that you're going to take a second look at today? What will you question?